Hello there. Have you ever, like me, been happily trimming all your branches back on a nice spring day and suddenly this happens? When you look further down, that's happened. Well, don't despair, because it's not the end of the day and you don't have to end up throwing it in the skip and heading off over to Amazon to buy a new hedge trimmer. There is a remedy, so stick around and I'll show you how you can repair one of these and bring it back to life again. Okay, so now you've got your hedge trimmer onto the workbench or suitable bench or wherever, and you've got your cable that you've just gone through. Right, now there's a number of different ways you can do this. One of the old methods was to strip the wires back, join them together by twisting the wires, putting a bit of insulation tape around it, and off you go. Now that does work, but it's not ideal, to be honest. To be on the safe side, what you need is one of these. Now this, you can see it, it's called an IP68, which is designed to be outdoor use. So it's ideal for hedge trimmers, lawn mowers, anything where the cable's cut or you're having to join any sort of cable outdoors together. It's got an IP rating, which means if there's any rain, it's fine and usable. Now technically you wouldn't need one of these on here because it's not going to be used out in the rain. It may be used out when there's wet grass. There is another one you can use. These are the cheaper option, available from most places. They do the same thing. They join two ends of a split cable together. But this one is IP rated, as I say, and it's designed for outdoor use. So that's the one we'll be using today. So without further ado, we should start preparing it, cutting down the wires and joining it together. Okay, so now the first thing you want to do, preparing the cable, is stripping it back. So what you do is you take the part from the inside of this. Now this opens up and it's got that piece in the middle. Now it's got 4 terminal blocks in there. You're only going to need 2 on this one. If you look closely at the wire, you got the brown and the blue, which is the live and the neutral. There's no earth on this one. The earth is I think joined to the casing on some of these ones, but there's only 2 wires, so that's all you need to worry about. So you've got 4 terminal blocks in there, so you only really need to loosen 2 of them to strip back the cable. Now for this job you'll just need a little flathead screwdriver like this, or even smaller. Most of these can be picked up in any hardware store if you don't have them available, but for this purpose we'll be using an electrical one. It's a little bit too big for the hole, but it will go in there. Okay, so you have a look at the size of it. You can hold the cable up to have a look with your thumb, or you could use a pencil or a marker. You don't need to go in too hard, just enough to score it. That takes that off like that. Offer it up to the maybe a little bit more. It's probably enough. And then you can take the ends of it. Look at the little holes there, probably that one, second one in from the end. And that'll expose the wire. I normally just give them a little twist like that. The same on that one. Now it can be quite fiddly, this bit, and what you want to do before is to feed it through the hole there. So you want to loosen this nut on this piece like that. Now these come off, they've got a little locking ring with a rubber rubber washer, and when you tighten it, that will grip on it and tighten the cord. So you want to just loosen it all off, feed your cable through, like that, and again you do the same on the other side. You can put that on there now before we strip the wire back. Pull it off with your fingers, expose the wires, now if you don't cut them long enough, you can always cut a little piece more off afterwards, but it should be enough I think for this. Okay, so now you've got your two pieces on the end, so that's where your join's going to be made. And so once you've got your wires stripped back, twist the ends of them like so. You can then feed them into the little blocks. So we'll put the brown one in there. Just push it in so the actual inner sleeve of the cable is pushed right in, so there's no bare wires showing. It's a little bit fiddly, but it will go in. Probably easier to push them both in at the same time, like that, so you can then just hold them and then tighten these up. A little bit of pressure on the workbench just to hold it in place. So that's the two cables there. Then you repeat the process. So blue to blue, turn around, so the brown one there. You should just be able to push them straight in. Is a bit fiddly, it has to be said. Turn it around, push that blue one right in there. Two cables, blue to blue, nipped up nice and tight. That should hold it all in place. And all we need to do is just to bring these back down again. That'll go into the housing there. Pops in. And then we just use a little nut in the middle just to turn it on. That locks it in the middle. And we'll bring up the locking nut. Just be careful you don't cross thread it. Now that will stop any movement in those cables either side. That will just lock that all into place. You can turn them both at the same time. And there you have it. One cable. Okay, so we've got our extension lead up on the bench. And now we're going to plug it in, check it all. First of all, check the end of it's got no moisture on it if it's been lying in the garden. Plug it in. Moment of truth. And there we have it. One repaired Hedge trimmer. I would say it's brand new, like new, but it's a very good fixing, and that'll serve you for, well, quite a long time. Saves you throwing it in the skip and having to go and buy another one. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the the video helpful. There'll be many more coming in the coming weeks of little jobs in and around the house, also in the garden. Another one we will be doing will be an IP64 repair. These are extension leads that can be used in the garden. Again, they're waterproof, similar to the one on here, but obviously on a larger scale. So these extension leads can be joined end to end, male to female, like that. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.